Hello and welcome to our showing.
I'm Bo.
I'm Ben.
And this is the podcast where we argue about movies.
We'll open on a quick review and they'll be followed by a spoiler-free discussion up until you hear this sound.
At which point, spoilers are free reign. So we're going to be talking about every little thing within the film.
And this week, Bo and myself are taking a romantic stroll. We're singing the praises and critiquing the crap out of La La Land.
City of Stars.
Damien Chazelle is currently batting 2 for 2 as the writer-director of Whiplash brings us his latest work, La La Land. This musical, starring Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, is a surreal film set in the hyper-reality of current-day LA and has a sense of cynical realism that sets this writing apart from the vast majority of Hollywood. Emma Stone is an aspiring actress who works on the Warner Brothers lot, brushing shoulders with movie stars and dreaming of her big break as she goes to audition after audition without a callback. Ryan Gosling is a talented pianist with a jazz obsession. He struggles to make ends meet as his enthusiasm for the past gets in the way of living day to day. From the get-go, La La Land unashamedly jumps into its musical genre. But unlike other films, the focus as a viewer is less on what the singers are singing about and more on the feeling of the song. Every song is actually sung by the actors. I had no idea Emma Stone's voice was so good. Ryan Gosling learned to play the piano specifically for this role, and John Legend was actually jealous how well he picked it up. With all of the artistic and hyper-realistic choreography during each musical scene, the entire film plot is incredibly realistic and relatable, with a heavy dose of nostalgia sewn throughout. La La Land is one of my top picks for all of 2016. It's outstanding, beautiful, and original. 4.5 stars.
You're giving it the perfect score?
Your perfect score, maybe. I will give up to 5 stars if it deserves it.
So you have taken half a star off intentionally.
Yes.
That's too high.
It's a near
It's
perfect
too high
film.
from me. I would give it... So I'm going to try and talk you down over this review. Because
Good luck.
Everyone I've spoken to has liked it a lot. No one has loved it. You seem to be the first person that I've spoken to that has loved it.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Every single person that I have spoken to who's seen it has loved it.
I think you're misinterpreting that they thought it was quite good, but it was just
No.
it was off brilliant. It was not brilliant.
No, loved it. Everyone that I've spoken to.
I'm going to try and talk
Adore
you
it.
down over this review. I'm giving it quite a bit less than you.
It's not going to happen.
Okay.
I will firmly be sitting at 4.5 stars for this. I will tell you right now.
All right. Well, let me just get out my list of criticisms here. No. I will agree that you would have to be some sort of terrible human being if you didn't find enjoyment from this film. You would have to be cold-hearted, dead on the inside if it didn't warm your cockles.
But
It needed to be edited better, man. It was way too fucking long for what it was. It's my one complaint that I always come back to.
I know. I want a collection of every single movie that you have said it was too long. There were parts that could have been cut out.
Well, I can list them in this film that I thought were... I don't like using this word, but a little bit wanky. I don't like describing it as that, but it has to be done in this one. This one reeks of a writer-director without someone else coming in and going, buddy, maybe we could just lose this scene. Or maybe we could just lose this bit. Or wouldn't this film work really well in an hour 45, not 2 hours 10?
You have so little patience. Everything just needs to be bam, 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 bam. Everything that we've ever shot together is just like...
Much better. Yeah, it's good. It's much better. It's going to be like a frenetic, like...
Your brain is much quicker. Like, go to our first YouTube episode when you were so nervous that you were just tripping over yourself speaking so fast.
I wasn't nervous.
Your brain goes much faster than most people's, and I have to translate. Let's be honest. I have to translate for you at parties quite often.
But yeah, let's dive into La La Land. What did you think of the first scene?
The dancing, the huge
turnpike off
single
road.
shot.
Could have gone, could have disappeared. Open on Ryan Gosling. But don't tear out my book. It's got notes in there.
If the notes are all like this one,
The notes are like this one. Don't give me my book. You jerk.
That first scene sets the entire film up. It says, this is a musical. This is what you're in store for.
Oh, gee, I didn't know I was watching a musical.
Lots of people don't.
I'm so glad that this movie opened with an arbitrary musical without the leads doing something so that
The
I
leads
knew it
are
was a
introduced
musical.
at the end of the single shot, even
I
though
would
it's
say
technically
this-
not a one. It's not a whole one shot. But
No,
it's
a
comped.
couple. It's a couple of things put together.
Yeah.
But I would say this about action films. I hate it when action films open on some arbitrary action that really has nothing to do with it.
Do you hate that?
I do hate that. Even action films that open with an action scene in the beginning, they normally have the protagonist involved. Or the action scene normally stimulates the rest of the action. It's not just an action scene or a musical scene for the purpose of saying, by the way, audience, you're going to be watching a musical.
It's not just about that. It also sets the scene for where this is taking place and in what sort of reality this is taking place.
Why?
It sets expectations for the film.
Well, why do it? Why? I would have been like, that's what I was thinking. As soon as that scene ended and Ryan Gosling's fiddling with the radio, I was like, well, this is better. I know what's happening now. I don't know. I can let this one go. I can let the scene go. But here's an example of the fluff, of the bloating that the film has all the way through.
That first musical number not only sets it up as a musical and sets expectations for people throughout the film as they're watching it, and it's an establisher for we are in LA. These are the people who live in LA. These are the streets. We're going to be coming back to this exact iconic traffic jam bridge in LA.
Yeah, but to say this scene's in there in the beginning and we will come back to it later on as if that's the justification for it. So what?
I'm saying it's part of it. There are so many
No.
reasons.
But that's film school writing right there. That you go, well, if we're going to come back to the bridge later on, let's add a scene at the beginning just to mirror it, just to come back to it. That's not how it works.
But it's not in there just for the mirroring. The mirroring is an aspect of it. I'm saying it's also
sets up the world and it mirrors. So I just want you to forget about the mirroring thing because that's like if it's only in there for that purpose for the mirroring, forget about that. I agree with you that it does set up the world and stuff, but I would have liked it to set up the world with Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone in it.
But they're not.
We never come back to these people in the cars.
But Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone aren't the only ones in this world. That's the whole idea, is that they're just two singular people in all of LA who don't matter. We just sort of stumble across them at the end of the musical number. It settles in. I think that it's fine.
I'm not putting my foot down about this one, but I'm just saying this is an example of if it was gone, I don't think the film would suffer.
I think it would. I disagree.
Well, here are some
heavily disagree.
Well, here are the other ones that I complained about.
Fine.
And I'm saying this pre-spoilers, that the end of this film took some serious cues from Return of the King, where it ends. There were a lot of endings.
It's got a standard 3-act structure.
No. There's another thing. There was another one of my problems. It felt like a very uneven 2. A first half that has one tone, and the second half that has a different tone. The second half felt like it went for quite a bit longer, but you're saying it was 3 acts. That's interesting. It was 2. It was
absolutely 3.
Well, we're going to come back to that post spoilers.
Fine.
Emma Stone has a solo in there, a very particular one. Could have lost that. Didn't need that one. That was the only time when I was looking at my watch.
But that solo is integral to the plot advancement, to what ensues and what the reason for that solo. I can't say much more without going into spoilers. But
so there are 2 things to come back to post spoilers. But I'm just we'll come back to that one.
You keep saying I'm starting to think that you're going to be saying we should just lose this, and every single one of the things.
That's
every single one of things.
If you lose those 4 things, you got now a 45-minute
So what
movie,
are the 4 things?
And it would be Turnpike opening.
One musical number.
You lose that one.
Yeah.
Lose Emma Stone's number.
2 musical numbers.
Yeah. Tighten the whole ending. Like tell the same story, not like lose chunks of it. But I just felt like the editing was very loose at the end there.
3 out of 3 musical numbers.
And the 4th one is, I can't read my writing, so 2 musical numbers and tighten the ending. And then I'd be right up there with you with 4.5 stars. No? Okay, you disagree?
No.
But that's my only complaint, really. I mean, I really enjoyed the film, but it's just those things in the film really removed me from it, and I just felt like there was too much for what it is. And it's a very simple story. It's very small. You can really explain what it is in a few sentences. We'll do that post-spoilers.
I think the commentary and what the film is saying is way more than those sentences.
What is it saying? Should we drop that spoiler sound, then you tell me what you think it's saying, and then I'll talk about the ending?
Well, in a second, you need to tell me what you're going to give it.
Now, I very deliberately last week gave Star Wars
3.75.
because I want to give this just a snip underneath there at 3.5.
Are you saying that Rogue One is better than La La Land?
Yes.
Get fucked.
But see, that's what I'm saying. That's why I've gone in the 0.25.
Generic filler Star Wars shit is better than this original, outstanding, musically and
What?
brilliantly beautiful film.
What?
This is a film that
I
you
can't
do
believe you
not
call
see
Rogue
in
One filler.
I don't take it back.
I would disagree with that because it's doing something different for the genre, and
That's like going Civil War or like a generic Marvel, the new Spider-Man that's coming out is better than La La Land because it's a Marvel superhero film.
that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Because it's a Star Wars film. It gets a higher rating.
No, I'm saying because of enjoyment was also another element. At no point in the runtime of Star Wars did I check my watch. I would prefer to watch that again than watch La La Land straight away.
You don't think that
I look
La La
forward
Land...
to La La Land some stage in the future, but I've seen it once, and I want to give it several months, maybe a year, before I ever see it again.
La La Land is an outstanding and original film
What
within
makes it
Hollywood.
original?
Because, all right, what's a film like this?
It's drawing allusions on a lot of the old classic musicals. It's
Because
it's a
of
throwback
references?
to those. No, not references. It's doing it in the style of those old films.
And it's got nostalgic aspects, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of the reason behind the entire plot of the film is that you have this innate nostalgia throughout the entire plotline, throughout each of the characters. Both of them have that innate
Throughout
nostalgia.
each of the characters, they've got that. They're nostalgic of certain things.
Yeah.
The jazz and the okay.
And that's reflected with the sowing of those nostalgic seeds throughout the film.
Yeah.
I feel like there's way more to this film that you have just discarded.
Well, I would like you to try and explain what those things are, but I think at its heart, it's a new spin on a romance. It does, at the end of the film, it does have something to say, a very modern twist on a classic idea, but I don't want people to mistake it being a throwback and arcing back to those styles of old films as being entirely original and unique.
They've done it in a contemporary way. The musicals have been done in a more contemporary way than the old school musicals because they're less choreographed. They're more raw.
Yeah,
the
fair.
musical aspects of this. So while it's pulling a lot of its inspiration from older films, I don't think it's just look at this old...
Yeah, I'm not undermining it, but I don't know. Those unique
don't
aspects.
understand how you can absolutely dismiss it and put Rogue One above it when...
I'm not absolutely dismissing it. I still really enjoyed it. I just didn't think it was as tight as it could have been.
I can't fathom how you still think that is a film that deserves more commendations than La La Land.
You're getting caught up on this comparing it to Rogue One thing.
Yeah, I am. Because I in no world that I picture is Rogue One a better film than La La Land. I don't understand how you can come to that.
At its core, it probably boils down to the fact of personal preference at this stage. They're both really good films, but I would prefer to watch Rogue One more times, and I intend to watch it more times than La La Land.
Yes. Okay.
Which factors into it.
Because I'm trying to remove my bias. I'm trying to remove the bias that I have for...
I have no
films
intention of
like
removing
this.
any of the bias. That's part of what this show is.
What?
It's the
You don't
normal opinion. It's you sit down with someone and you want to hear what they would prefer to watch. And I would prefer to watch Rogue One only, exclusively, because La La Land needed better editing. Now let's get into that. Let's drop that spoiler sound, and I'll tell you what I thought of the editing.
Okay. Do we go on to what I think the message is, or do we go on to
Tell me what you
the
think the
editing?
message is.
Okay. This film is about the cyclic trends of the arts industry. So, for example, jazz had its day and then became unpopular. Nobody wanted to listen to it. And then you bring a fresh new twist on jazz and then jazz becomes popular again. And then people start listening. It's like vinyl. People are listening to vinyl now more than they did 10 years ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe.
The cyclic nature of fashion, of music, of movies is just like the fact that it's a musical set when there's not many musicals being made that is a
Shot
callback.
in CinemaScope.
In CinemaScope. And it's a callback to all these older musical numbers. And the whole idea is that you have this cyclic nature and it is going to come back. Musicals will become popular again. And you'll have all of these old things that then reevaluated and deemed entertaining again.
Okay, that's the motif underneath it.
Yep.
What do you think the relationship between the two of them is saying?
It's gone away from the classic romance of we put aside everything for love and relationship and going with, you know what? These are our dreams. We're going to pursue them and we're going to sacrifice this relationship for those dreams. And they did it. They worked hard. They achieved their dreams. And it's saying that while there might still be a small ember of a relationship or love or feelings there, because they've both moved to different points in their life, time has passed, they are happy to look each other in the eye, nod, and go their separate ways and continue with the lives that they've chosen to live.
In a way, you can even say that they got all their dreams. Like, they wrote all their dreams down and they ticked them all off. So in that way, it's a very Disney-fied, it's a very romantic film.
Yeah.
But at the same time saying, well, you didn't put this on your list, so you didn't get that.
And they helped each other achieve the things that they wanted to achieve in their own ways. Like Emma Stone would not have become the actress that she became without Ryan Gosling being there to support her during her...
In what way did he make her a stronger actress?
He didn't make her a stronger actress. He made her more confident, was basically her support network, her sole support network.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of a very specific thing that she did. Like,
So he was the one that got her to go out on a limb and do her own show.
Yeah, that's really all you need, isn't it? It's just that one little punch. Like, when I think about what she did for him, she renamed his club.
Yeah.
From Chicken Wing Spicy something to Jebs.
Yeah.
And she even designed the logo and stuff.
And
of which I hope she's getting royalties.
Yeah, right?
Do you think a part of her, when she saw that sign near the end there, went, hey... She wasn't just overcome with, like, the warm embrace on the inside?
No, I think she was happy for him.
All right.
But also, sort of, without indirectly, Emma Stone also helped Ryan Gosling get that steady job to get the income that he needed to actually afford the club. Because she sort of indirectly pushed him to find a steady job, which actually set him into stardom and got him not only popularity and recognition for his talents, but also a really sweet paycheck.
And we all knew that drama 3/4 of the way through the film was coming, where the two argue and they fight about stuff. To the film's credit, it wasn't contrived. You understood their actions and you understood why Ryan Gosling took that job, took that paycheck despite not liking it. And you understood why he got upset that she was seemingly having a go at him for not following his dreams. And you also understood why she was having a go at him.
And that's what I mean when I say that during the musical numbers, it's such a sense of hyper-realism. In one scene, they're floating up into the stars.
And that's what I meant by the two acts. The first half is the romanticized way it would have been told 40 years ago. And the second half is how it would be told now.
I disagree with that simplification of it.
Well, they were the two acts I saw. How did you see it as three acts?
So I see it as three acts in terms of the relationship. Because the whole film is about their relationship, and their relationship is in three acts.
So the first stage, the honeymoon.
Yep.
The second stage, the falling out.
Yep.
And the third act is...
them going their separate ways, as opposed to the third act being their coming back together. It's the resolution of their dreams, their lives, and where they end up.
Just a subtle difference. It's not really a big contradiction of what you're saying. It's just I saw that last 15, 20 minutes more as a denouement, more as like, this is where they are now. I didn't feel like we were with them at that stage. I felt like it was telling us what had happened. It felt more like all the action and all the stuff had happened and nothing was going to change from this point on. It's just in that final bit.
Are you talking about the final music scene where he's playing in Seb's and she's watching?
Yeah.
So the whole idea of that is that everything that could have been.
Yeah. I'm with it on that.
Yeah.
And then it's sort of twisting the audience's expectations. It's going, wait, they're not together. Oh, they are together. This is what I really want. Oh, they're not together, and this is reality. Okay.
Yeah.
So
this is what could have happened, and this, if their lives went a different way, if some decisions had have been changed, this is how things could have gone.
And it's about that contrast of if you didn't see the happiness, you wouldn't be as sad when they look at each other.
Exactly. Even if you wanted that to happen, it doesn't mean that you get what you want. You know, it's just like with that relationship, you don't always get what you want. You don't get everything you want.
And that's what I mean. I didn't see that last section as being current. It wasn't what is happening to them, and there was no progression
everything
at that
that
stage.
could have
It was everything that could have been. It was like a throwback. It felt more like the title cards at the end saying they went their separate ways.
Yeah.
Which is how I saw it, as 2 acts with a little bit of a denouement on the end. It's not a big difference from the way you were seeing it, but that's what I mean by the first half felt very short, very tight and succinct, and very happy. Second half felt like there was too much, just too long. Maybe it's because it's so sad in the second half, and you sort of know that drama and tension's coming along, that it doesn't have to be physically as long to feel longer.
I think that while you might want to get through the sadness and just be like, I don't want to sit here and be feeling these things for these peeps.
Yeah.
But sometimes you do. Settle in. I would say La La Land is about the feeling of the film as you go through.
Anyway, let's move on to some of my other complaints. Just very minor ones. The scene, the music number with the housemates, all their voices sounded the same.
I agree. They had the same type of voice. But the underlying part of this film is also about the superficial aspect of Hollywood, and Emma Stone's in a room auditioning for a part, and then she goes into an elevator with 6 other people who are generic, red-haired, thin, pale Emma Stones.
And all variations on the theme. Like there's
Exactly.
a tall one, there's an older one, there's a younger one.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean the housemates have to be the same.
They're all generic Hollywood actresses, wannabe creatives.
I think even if that's the truth.
Superficial, shallow Hollywood.
No, even if that's what they were trying to do with that scene, their voices should have been more dynamic and different so that you could understand why they were not cast in certain things. Them having different voices, would have added to the scene. It's just a small thing. I'm just saying. It would have added to the thing.
Okay.
A small thing that's not quite a complaint, but I just got to point it out. It's that Ryan Gosling obviously doesn't have quite the power in his voice. He never has a ballad or a big one. That doesn't matter so much. I don't mind that. I would have liked one strong song, one belter, just in the middle, just to break up the whole theme. It's just on my wish list of things that I could have
what
put in
you
there.
wanted to see, but
Yeah, like a J.K. Simmons. If J.K. Simmons busted one out, that would have been...
This is the last duet, last chance you're gonna get. No more harmony for you and me.
But he's in it for so little time.
I know.
It's a cameo. It's nothing else.
I know. But if he had like a 1 minute long song, where
So
he was
you
like
wanted a male
abusing...
ballad?
No, not necessarily. I just wanted a strong ballad, like one with power. I wanted...
Emma Stone had a strong one.
Are you talking about Emma Stone's audition? Because that was the song that I said that I didn't like in the introduction. And the reason I didn't like it was because everything went dim and it said to you, this song is going to be amazing. Strap yourselves in. And then it was sort of okay. It didn't blow me away.
The audition, I think, is more of like Emma Stone's sort of her time to shine, her time to be like, this is where she gets her break. And this is...
But I didn't think having that scene in there helped. If you saw her go into the audition, you saw Ryan Gosling chewing his nails, or worried about her, and then she comes out, and you get to find out after the fact. It would have been just as good storytelling.
I think that would have been really underrewarding.
Yeah, no, I don't think I needed to see that one, but maybe that was just a personal preference. What didn't you like? You've taken half a star off.
Yes, I didn't like the auditorium, the place with the star thing and the dancing.
Now I hate dream sequences. I hate the when they go stupid, but that one I thought was played very well.
And this is
Played
the one
very
where they
subtly the way
rose up into the air and
Yeah.
started dancing among the stars.
The one that's in the trailers and the one that you see and you go, oh, that's the type of film this is. But it's really not indicative of the type of realism that the film is.
Yeah.
It never really goes that far. But I felt just once in the film that was used very well.
I feel like I was a little off put by it. I thought that went a little bit too far. But then the way that they came back to reality by settling down into the seats and returning to that realism, saved it.
Also, it's not at the beginning of the film. I would have felt like you felt if it was one of the early scenes.
Yeah.
But it is a third, maybe halfway through the film. So you already know that this isn't the type of film it's going to be.
Yeah.
And it is at the moment where they fall in love, really. So I can excuse that.
Favorite scene?
Favorite scene for me, not exactly a whole scene, but the look between the two characters at the end. To boil the film down to a look between the two characters, and you know exactly what those characters are thinking without any dialogue, amazing.
There's so much in that look.
Yeah, there is so much. I think that look might even be in the trailer, but it's one of those things where you see it in the trailer and you don't know what it is, but after the whole runtime of the film, it means so much to you.
A very, very powerful point in the film. My favorite scene, though, has to be Emma Stone taking off her heels and putting on tap shoes, and then having the tap scene with the view.
That number. Oh yeah, we must mention that the choreography is quite good. It's very nice, very solid and stuff. But some of the cinematography is incredible. That scene that you're talking about with the tap shoe, like it's a huge craning shot that goes all the way around, and it's completely seamless in terms of you don't know where the lights are, you don't know where the crew is. At no stage do you feel the filmmaking, if that makes sense.
That's true.
It just feels like you're just going around.
Yeah, and it's like that in that whole world is just empty of everything but them.
I was watching that scene because as it started, I was like, "Damn, look at the lighting. Where's the light? Where's it coming from? What's happening here?" Actually, I'm sure it's seamless CGI at certain stages. For example, a turnpike scene.
Yeah.
How the hell did they do that? And it's so seamless wherever the seams are in terms of where the green screen is, or if it was a real turnpike. Like
it was. They shot it over, I think, 48 hours, maybe 78.
Right. And they got all those cars together.
And like they had traffic going around them on that one place.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's
I don't know
crazy.
how they did it, but they did it.
Yeah.
So I'm giving it higher because I think La La Land is a stronger and more breakaway film than the last one that we did, which was Rogue One. I think that La La Land is a step and a skip beyond what you come to expect from most films. And I think the callbacks and the nostalgia to this is just perfect.
That's fair. I'm liking that you're liking the unique film.
Yes.
Sometimes you don't award a film the proper merit it has just because it's unlike other stuff.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that you're doing that. It's good stuff, Bo.
Oh, thanks,
Good
man.
stuff.
I feel like I'm growing.
Oh, cool. If it was shorter, tighter, I would have really loved it. And it's the type of film that I could watch very easily. But at its current run length, and with a few of those scenes where I checked my watch, I'm not gagging to see it again.
Okay.
So I'm staying with my 3.5.
See, I gave it 3.5 according to my bias. I gave it 3 without my bias. See, I feel like I'm trying to remove my bias and look at it as a
And I'm trying not to.
film. And you're trying not to. You're trying
I'm
to do
trying
it
to
with your
amp
bias.
it up. Yeah. If I want to go see a stupid action movie and I really enjoy it, I'm going to give it a good score.
What are you thinking?
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued as to whether you think we should remove our bias in the future, or
And you think
whether
we should enhance it?
yes, should solidify our bias. That, you know, if it's an animated film, I know you're going to give it 4.5. If there's 6 explosions in it, it's 4.5 for me.
But that's so easy to predict.
We'll reassess. We'll have a now showing meeting with the board members.
Is Deadpool invited?
Wonder Woman.